Hey everyone, so the leaks for JJK chapter 254 are trickling in, and let me tell you, it's shaping up to be quite the Kusakabe-focused chapter. Right off the bat, we're diving into another flashback. With everyone praising Kusakabe, Nanami acknowledges him as a master swordsman with a wide array of techniques, while Meimei describes him as a versatile individual who can adapt to any situation. Even Gojo himself chimes in, commending Kusakabe for his straightforward domain. Now, what's really catching everyone's attention is the revelation that Kusakabe can establish a simple domain without the need for binding vows. And not just any simple domain, we're talking about a massive one here. To put it into perspective, let's take a moment to consider. Mi was conditioned to activate a simple domain. Both feet must be grounded. So it seems like Kusakabe is an expert when it comes to simple domains. And why is this significant? Well, a simple domain has the power to nullify the sure hit feature of a domain, which can be Kusakabe's key defense against Sukuna. However, it's important to note that while it cancels out the sure hit feature, it doesn't nullify the curse technique itself. So the rest will ultimately come down to Kusakabe's abilities and strategy. One intriguing aspect of a simple domain is that it increases the user's curse energy output. This suggests that Kusakabe might just have a fighting chance against Sukuna, albeit a slim one. Kusakabe has been holding his own against Sukuna's onslaught using a combination of tactics. Firstly, he reads the sparks of Sukuna's curse energy to anticipate his moves. Secondly, he tracks Sukuna's motions and gestures to predict his attacks. And thirdly, he relies on pure intuition to react swiftly. Being within his simple domain enhances his abilities, making it easier to execute these strategies. However, just as Kusakabe boasts about his technique and skill in reading Sukuna's slashes, he's suddenly bombarded with a flurry of attacks that he barely manages to dodge. This reveals that Sukuna can activate his curse technique without any physical movement, catching Kusakabe off guard. Meanwhile, in a flashback, Meimei recognizes him as a versatile sorcerer capable of adapting to any situation. She even goes as far as saying that if she had to choose someone to take to a deserted island, it would be Kusakabe. Gojo also commends Kusakabe for his simple domain, noting that most people require a binding vow to create one, whereas Kusakabe can establish it without such constraints, greatly expanding its range. Returning to the battle, Kusakabe senses Sukuna preparing to unleash another devastating attack, and reacts swiftly by expanding the range of his simple domain to counter it. Even Sukuna is taken aback by this unexpected move. A flashback from Meimei highlights the typical use of sword-drawing techniques to bait opponents. However, Kusakabe takes it a step further by expanding the range of his simple domain, drawing opponents in and allowing him to launch automatic attacks on anyone who enters his domain. The intensity of the battle is captured in a stunning double-page spread, showing Sukuna enduring a barrage of slashes from Kusakabe. Nanami remarks on the incredible feat, noting that while most people would struggle to defend against such attacks, there's someone who doesn't need to block them at all, a clear reference to Gojo's unparalleled abilities. So Kusakabe, in the midst of this intense battle with Sukuna, finds himself in a bit of a tight spot when his sword breaks from landing repeated attacks on the formidable Sukuna. But does he back down? Nah, not even close. Instead, he ditches his overcoat and decides to take matters into his own hands. Literally, it's like, okay, no more swords, no problem, let's throw down. And let me tell you, he's not holding back. Kusakabe throws a kick that sends Sukuna flying, and then without missing a beat, he's on him like white on rice, chasing him down with everything he's got. It's a total slugfest, and Kusakabe is right in the thick of it, giving it everything he's got. But it's not just physical. Kusakabe's also having this deep inner dialogue with himself, trying to figure out why he's fighting so fiercely. And then it hits him. He's fighting for a cause, for something bigger than himself. He feels indebted to Professor Yaga, and that sense of duty is what's driving him forward. It's this powerful mix of ideology and motivation that's fueling his every move. And just when you think it can't get any more intense, we get this quick flashback of Gojo, Nanami, and Meimei praising Kusakabe for his kindness. They're basically saying that's why they recommended him as a first-grade sorcerer in the first place. It's a real testament to his character and the respect he's earned from his peers. And in that moment, you can just feel Kusakabe's confidence soaring. He strikes this iconic pose, channeling the Gojo energy, and he's like, alright, enough with the doubts and distractions. It's time to step up and take action. And then he busts out his hazy moon technique, ready to keep the momentum going and show Sukuna what he's made of. So yeah, this battle is a tough one for Kusakabe, but he is proving himself to be a true force to be reckoned with. Kusakabe, fueled by determination and courage, unleashes his hazy moon technique, conjuring a blade of cursed energy to strike at Sukuna. But Sukuna, ever the formidable opponent, effortlessly catches the blade with 2 fingers. Almost mocking Kusakabe's attempt, he points out the obvious, that Kusakabe was aiming for his already damaged heart, making it a futile effort. In the next panel, the scene takes a dark turn as we see Kusakabe lying on the ground, his chest slashed open, a grim testament to the power and ruthlessness of Sukuna. It's a moment of shock and despair. As even his allies rush to his side, Wee tries to teleport Kusakabe, while calling out his name in concern. But Sukuna was there waiting for him, and says you're annoying and tries to kill our little hero. But just when all seems lost, a new player enters the fight. Meguel, previously unseen for quite some time, swoops in to save the day, catching Sukuna off guard with his sudden appearance. Sukuna, taken back by Meguel's intervention, expresses disbelief at not recognizing him, to which Meguel responds with a witty remark about sharpening their senses. And with that, the chapter comes to a close, leaving us on the edge of our seats, reeling from the intense action and unexpected twists. Despite the outcome, overall, it's safe to say that this chapter delivered the unexpected, keeping readers hooked and eager for more. But as always, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let's discuss the epic conclusion of chapter 254. Alright, my conclusion to this chapter. First, let's talk about how Kusakabe has been handling Sukuna's attacks. Not only has he been dodging and countering Sukuna's slashes like a pro, he also managed to nullify Sukuna world-cutting slash with his own simple domain. And that's no small feat. Considering Sukuna's power level, speaking of Sukuna, this chapter reveals that he can now unleash his slashes without even moving his hands. But guess what? Kusakabe can still perceive and dodge them, a skill previously only seen in the likes of Maki and Gojo. Talk about some serious talent. What's even more impressive is how Kusakabe anticipated Sukuna's world slash and expanded his symbol domain in a way that caught Sukuna off guard. These are some next level moves we're seeing from Kusakabe, and it's got me on the edge of my seat. But here's the thing, all this build up and admiration for Kusakabe has got me feeling a bit uneasy. It's like Akutami, the creator, is buttering us up just to make it hurt more when Kusakabe potentially loses. So what do you all think about the performance of Kusakabe in this chapter? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel and turn on all post notifications so you don't miss any daily uploads.